Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 8th, 2022. Welcome to Columnhenge at Alpha Ωmega. We're located halfway between Death Valley and Las Vegas, halfway between Joshua Tree and Area 51 in the Mojave Desert of the Southwest United States.
Good morning and welcome back. We're so glad that you're here. What you're about to experience is amazing. We've been doing this now for a little over 4 years. This rite that we're presenting to you comes from the Bruce Codex, which is a document found in Egypt that contains 2 lost books of the Bible, and not just any books of the Bible, but the ones that claim that they contain the secret teachings that Jesus taught to his disciples. There are 2 books, the first and second books of Yahweh. What we're bringing you today comes from the first book because it contains all of the mysteries of the 60 Treasuries of Light. It comes down to us in incomplete form, however. These rites were practiced by earliest Christians in the 1st century all across the Christian world. They continued to be practiced into the 3rd century when Rome became the official religion of Christianity became the official religion of Rome, and the Roman priesthood imposed their will on the rest of the Christian world and forced them to abandon these early practices. Now, today, you get to experience this once again, thanks to a miracle of archaeology that brought this back to us in 1769, and thanks to archaeologist Leslie McQuade, who has assisted me in painstakingly reconstructing and reviving what is as close as we can come to the way that this original rite was practiced with the limited information that has come down to us. I'm ordained minister David Griffin.
I'm ordained minister Leslie McQuade.
And this is the secret teachings of Jesus Revival.
The sun is the dispenser of light to the earth. May the living light of the God force inflame our souls with abundant life.
Our destiny lies amongst the stars, and to the stars we shall ascend.
Take a deep breath and feel into your body. As you are breathing deeply, feel deeply into your body. And by that, what I mean is that think about how your body feels right now, and then take a deep breath and feel the changes that happen on your skin, in your muscles, in your mind. And as you continue to breathe deeply and feel deeply into each and every part of yourself, visualize yourself as the tree of life. However it is you imagine that tree to look or be. And with your next deep breath and exhalation, grow your branches up high into alpha sky. Drive your roots down deep into omega earth. I call on you in the east, Alpha. I call on you in the west, Omega. I call on you in the north, Alpha. I call on you in the south, Omega.
Alpha.
Et Omega.
The beginning.
And the end.
And the path of the age between sunrise
and sunset.
And the path of the sun between birth
and death.
And the path of life between Alpha.
Omega.
Welcome back to Alpha O'Mega's Columnhenge Temple. Here we are once again out in the beautiful nature of the Mojave Desert, worshiping God and calling forth the angels of the 9th Treasury of Light, using the ancient teachings left to us by the living Jesus and passed down to us through his disciples and through his apostles. This morning we will be opening the 9th Treasury of Light. We begin by calling upon the angels in the invisible, and by calling upon the watchers of the 9th Treasury of Light to stand aside. We have the passcodes, we know your names, so step back and grant us entry into the treasury. Eya, eya. Eya. O, eya. Tieg hon. Tieg hon. Watchers, withdraw. And let us enter into the 9th Treasury of Light. And the living Jesus said, there are 12 heads in my Father's treasury, and these are the names that are in the places when they sing praises to my Father, and he gives light power to them. Shining angel, first of 12, head in my Father's treasury in the honored place of the East. We call you forth. We summon you once again, as did the living Jesus, using your sacred and ancient name left to us by the living Master. Aozaia. Aozaia. Ahoba inoza. Ahoba inoza. Oza oe. Uzawa. Eya a. Eya a. Naranezao. Naranezao. Gozazai. Gozazai. Thonezea. Thonezea. Alpha Ωmega. Alpha Ωmega. Dozeia. Ezapsachonza. Ezapsachonza. Barezazei. Barezazei. Ei officer. Ei officer. And so we completed our journey through the places. Calling upon the 12 mighty angels, each in its proper place and proper rank. And at length we came into the place of the midst, the place of the middle, the place of the Father of the Treasure of Light. O Father of the ninth Treasure of Light, by your cipher and by your name, we call you forth once again. Ioe e Toi. Ioe e Toi. Let the divine light descend. This morning, before I begin with today's prayer, there's something I'd like to share with you. I have undergone a huge disappointment in the past week, and I'd like to share it with you because it's seldom that I feel so sad about something. And that is, well, you know, Leslie and I have been out here, and you know, if you've been here with us for any length of time at all, we've been out here working primarily for one thing, and that is human liberty, human freedom worldwide. And why is it that that always came first? Well, obviously, human freedom is so important. And in that vein, and you see that our freedom is threatened today like never before. Ever since in the last 2 years, there've been everything from lockdowns to, my goodness, people dying from this terrible, terrible scourge going around the earth. And it's really, really impinged on human freedom. You know, some of that is understandable, but when people just do a 180, it's really impossible to understand. I grew up in the shadow of the Vietnam War. In fact, I'm a Vietnam era veteran. And I remember as a kid all of my mixed feelings about the war, and I remember my childhood heroes. I adored Crosby, Stills, and Nash & Young. They were so fabulous. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, so many gorgeous songs that they did. And even after they split up, Neil Young on his own, I loved Neil Young. And some of his music is absolutely magnificent. The first album I ever bought in my life, in fact, was one of Neil Young's albums, Harvest. The reason why I love them so much is because they were against the war. And most importantly, they were for freedom, peace, and love. Freedom, peace, and love. What fabulous guiding ideals for us as young people. Freedom, peace, and love. These are things that are worth a lot, worth millions of dollars. You can't buy these. It's so magnificent. And freedom is so important. But now, I got so disappointed. I am heartbroken with Neil Young. I cannot believe that it was all a lie. Neil Young, shame on you. You lied to us. From the time we were teenagers, all our lives, you've been a liar. You've been a hypocrite. I can't believe it. Because the man who stood up before for freedom is now standing for censorship. It has revealed itself that Neil Young is nothing but a fascist who wants to impose his will on others and doesn't want anybody else but himself to have free speech. Oh, it was fine for him to sing against the war. It's fine for Neil Young to have free speech. But what about Joe Rogan? Oh, no, Joe Rogan can't have free speech. Oh, no. Neil Young has really shown his true colors here, folks. You know, I remember one of his songs, Old Man. And I tell you that right now, you know, Young, old man, take a look at your life. Because I'm nothing like you. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not a fascist censor. I really stand for freedom. We speak the truth. We stand for love. We stand for peace. We don't lie about it just to try and make money and then turn around and censor others. You hypocrite, Neil Young. Shame on you. And so I begin with a prayer. It is the intention of this ritual to establish human freedom worldwide.
Establish human freedom worldwide.
Abolish slavery in all its forms.
Abolish slavery in all its forms.
And grant us a pro-human future.
Grant us a pro-human future.
Restore the purity of our air.
Restore the purity of our air.
Of our water.
Restore the purity of our water.
Of our food.
Restore the purity of our food.
And our medicines.
Restore the purity of our medicines.
All these things we ask in the name of the living Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So mote it be. Take a moment now to again feel into your body. This ancient magical rite we are doing together helps you experience more God Force energy within you. As you experience more God Force energy, so you can look back on your life fearlessly. You know, David has called out Neil Young to have a look at his life, and that's a good idea for all of us, because within our lives we all have lessons that we need to learn. Why, even today, when I enter into a special type of meditation designed specifically for examining oneself, and I replay things I have forgotten from my own past to myself to see them again, I am always comforted by the fact that when I have a memory of my past, I remember it with a smile, because I have tried so hard my entire life to make sure that my life is memorable to me. Worth remembering. Is your life worth remembering? When you look back out onto your own life and you think on those things that you have done, how do you feel? Do you feel like you need to go apologize to someone? Do you feel like you need to do better for someone? You know, that is what our pasts are actually for, to help us do better in this moment now. And that's why God Force energy is so important. Because with God Force energy, what is happening right now is that you are able to look at yourself with the same kindness and gentleness and love that the assembled angels look upon you with. You see, although we all do wrong and we all make mistakes and we have all done bad things, some of which are regretted, what we must learn is that we are called children of God for a reason. Because when a child makes a mistake, you don't hate the child for making a mistake, unless you're crazy. You tutor the child. You show the child how that was a mistake and how they can do better next time. But you don't scream and yell at the child for having made an accident. That is a way to damage a child and to convince them never to try anything they might make a mistake at again. And that's what I see going on in our world. Because everyone was given participation trophies, everyone is afraid to fail. And because people are afraid to fail, no one stands up to try. You have to try and stand up. I guarantee you, There is no person living on earth who walked the first time they tried. There's no person on this earth who the first time they opened their mouths spoke a Shakespearean sonnet. They all said goo goo gaga mama first. Why? Because you have to start small. And even when you're starting small, you still do things wrong. And it's okay. This is a testing ground, a proving ground where we learn, where our mistakes, the mistakes that we make as children, can be overcome. Well, now there are mistakes on this world that have been made, and it's going to take adults to overcome them. And who are the adults now? Who are the people who are going to come and make things better? Well, I encourage you to look at yourself. I think you are exactly the right person for the job. You came at the appointed time. Here you are now. And you came to listen to the message that death is a lie and love is eternal. And so here now in this moment, you have the opportunity to change your world into exactly what you want it to be. Do you know what you want your world to be? Most people do. They want it to be sunny and bright and calm and pleasant and filled with happy people and plentiful, good, hearty meals and a nice big fresh glass of cool water to wash everything down, to wash your face. It is good to be alive, and it's good to remember why we are alive, to learn lessons, to make mistakes, to love each other and to help each other, and above all, to adore God and to take in all the bounty that God offers. And the most bountiful gift that God offers is your next breath of God force.
Thank you, Leslie, for that beautiful, beautiful message. I want to add one last prayer. Oh, dear God, restore freedom of speech to America. Please, dear God, please restore freedom of speech to America.
There are so many things we want to tell you that we can't.
We want to tell you. There's so many things we want to share with you that we can't. We are forced to self-censor because we are broadcasting this service worldwide through social media. And they have such heavy censorship rules that we can't tell you what we want to. We can't tell you the truth. It's not possible here.
The whole truth. We tell you as much of it as we are
absolutely
allowed.
As much as we possibly can, because you see, it's more important that the word gets out about the return of the mysteries, the higher mysteries that Jesus Christ taught his disciples, so that people begin to awaken to what we have in our hands, what you have right now in your hands. It's amazing. So we compromise, but it's getting to the point that we can't go on just doing that anymore. There's too much we need to talk to you about. There's too much going on. And that's why very, very soon, I'll give you the date as soon as we have it set up, but very, very soon, Leslie and I are going to hold a webinar in our webinar room. You're not going to be able to hear it on social media. You're not going to be able to hear it here. You're not going to be able to see it on live broadcast. The only way you're going to be able to get the whole truth from us is to come to the webinar. It will be free, but you have to come to the webinar itself, because it will not be recorded or transmitted in any way to social media. Therefore, they do not have the right to constrict us on our own webinar platform.
And we can speak to you freely.
And we can speak to you freely, finally, without the censorship that Neil Young wants and that he advocates and that Neil Young is standing for. I'm so disappointed. I'm really sorry, because Neil Young used to stand for freedom, peace, and love, and now he stands for censorship?
And the Chinese Communist Party?
Yeah, I can't believe it. What a liar. Okay, thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate your being here. Share this video, folks. Help us get out the word about the second coming of the secret teachings of Jesus. We don't pretend to be anything special, Leslie and I. We're just an anthropologist and a linguist who are bringing this back to you, so that we're raising awareness, so that humanity begins to understand the incredible treasure that we have, that was given to us by Jesus Christ himself and was taken away from humanity for 1,000 years, but now it's been returned to us. Share this video, folks. And we invite you to visit us at our website at alphaomega.church. And while you're there, be sure to download our free ebook that gives you the 3 secret baptisms that Jesus Christ used to baptize his disciples. The baptism of the waters of life, the baptism of fire, and the baptism of the Holy Spirit. You can download that right now for free and get started immediately for free with the Lost Magic of Jesus system. While you're there, we ask that you make a donation. Folks, we depend completely on you. If it weren't for you and others like you, we wouldn't be here with this mission still. We wouldn't be able to afford it. The God force, the Holy Spirit, is free, but getting this word out takes real money. And we have to get by in the same time too, and our church has to prosper. And that all depends on you. All of it, everything depends on you. We need you. We need you very badly. And you are the reason for this. And you are the Great Awakening. You are responsible. You are the one who is going to make humanity even better and help us to restore our freedoms. Once again, you can visit us at alphaomega.church. We'll be here with you and for you again tomorrow. And until then, have faith and expect a miracle.
And until we have the pleasure of each other's company again, may the God force run strong within you. And, as always, may your prayers and your magics work better than expected.